Good evening. How's everybody doing? Oh, come on, you guys can do better than that. How's everybody doing? There we go, there we go. It is my honor and a privilege to warmly welcome you all to tonight's Senior Recognition Awards program. Tonight, we will recognize and reward some of the best and brightest young seniors of Heights High School class of 2016. Amongst them are musicians and artists, number of varsity athletes, class officers, students with some of the highest GPAs, team captains, entrepreneurs, volunteers in their community, and leaders of their peers. I commend the generosity of the time and also the money that so many scholarship contributors have given tonight to our students. Students, so many of you have done outstanding community service. Some of you have even dedicated hours in preparing your creative writing skills in entries. So many of you have achieved academically, and I could go on and on and on. However, let me stop so that we can get into tonight's program. So let's jump into our program by first asking our choir members to come up on stage and lead us in our alma mater. We're going to ask everyone to stand for the alma mater. So at this time, our choir members are going to come forward. You know, I tell you, hearing our alma mater sung by our students, our beautiful students, it never gets old, it never gets outdated. So to our students, we thank you for singing our alma mater for us. Go ahead, you can clap if you like. As we begin to call up our deserving students, to our presenters, once the program begins, please step up to the podium as soon as the award ahead of you is heard and been stated by the presenter in front of you. Please call your recipient's name at the beginning of your presentation. Because there are numerous awards to be made and because of the time limitation that we do have, we must request that all of our presenters limit your speeches to 2 to 3 minutes. To students and presenters, please use the stairwell to my right here. Before we get started, I'm going to introduce our Deputy Superintendent, Ms. Felicia Gould. She's going to come up. She's going to represent the superintendent here tonight, so we're going to have her come up, and she's going to present our first award.
I know the first thing you're thinking is that she did not follow directions. Good evening. On behalf of the Superintendent, Dr. Talisa Dixon, I would like to bring greetings and congratulate our seniors who will be recognized this evening for their accomplishments both nationally, state, and locally. We want to thank our community and alumni members for the generous contributions that will be awarded to our seniors this evening. Your generosity is greatly appreciated and will assist students in pursuing their dreams. Again, thank you. I would now like to begin with our first recognition, the National Merit Scholarship Program. I would like Mr. Graham Bell, Aviva Klein, and Hannah Smith to please join me on the stage. The preliminary scholastic aptitude test, National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test, PSAT, is offered every October. Juniors who wish to be considered for financial assistance through scholarship programs administered by the National Merit Scholarship Corporation in their senior year must take the test. More than 1.5 million students took the October 2014 PSAT and entered the National Merit Program. 50,000 of the highest scores were identified. Some 16,000 of those high performers were designated semifinalists. The other 34,000 high performers are commended students. Our National Merit Scholarship commended students are Graham, Aviva, and Hannah. They scored in the top 5% and were recognized for exceptional academic promise. A spokesperson for the National Merit Scholarship Corporation writes that they demonstrated outstanding potential for academic success. They represent a valuable national resource, recognizing their accomplishments as well as a key role our school played in the academic development is vital to the advancement of educational excellence in our nation. We hope that this recognition will help to broaden your educational opportunities and encourage you as you continue to pursue your academic success. Again, congratulations. Our next award, Phi Beta Kappa. Ms. Lyndon White, please come forward. The Cleveland Association of Phi Beta Kappa was chartered in 1947. Since its inception, it was sought to recognize scholastic excellence as exemplified by outstanding high school students throughout the Cleveland area. Each year, the association honors the individual student in each high school has been nominated by his or her school as being worthy of recognition. The honored student is one who demonstrates qualities of academic honesty, inquiry into scholarly matters which goes beyond assignments and requirements, a creative involvement in scholarship, a great interest in things of mind. The student is selected from a group of students who are in the top 10% of the class in achievement. Our Phi Beta Kappa honoree this year, Ms. Lyndon White. Lyndon's teachers write that she has an insatiable desire for knowledge and an eagerness to immerse herself in the world of ideas. She is cheerful, supportive of others, generous with her time, and well respected by her peers. She is the #1 senior with a 4.7158 grade point average. Lyndon, we are so proud of you and congratulations. Thank you. Our advanced placement scholars. Students, as you hear your name, please join me on stage. Henry Gray, Maya Hubbard, Connor Lewis, Kelly Moore, Amelia O'Donnell, Grace Pepler, Isaac Pittman, and William Pritz, Gianfrancisco Cortel, and Adam Rosenbaum. Cleveland Heights offers a rich spectrum of advanced placement courses. Each year, hundreds of students participate in AP courses which mirror college-level classes. Every May, students take the AP exam for the subject she or he has been preparing for. Grades are released each July, and students have the ability to earn college credit and/or advanced placement into specific college courses based on their AP exam. I am pleased to present our students who have been recognized by the College Board for their AP levels of achievement. These fine young students have been designated as AP Scholars. This honor is granted to students who receive scores of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. Now will the students join me? Anna Crawley, Isabel Magga, Michelle Posh, Emma Schubert, Hannah Smith, Allegra Steiger, and Lyndon White. These students have earned AP Scholar with honor achievement. It is granted to students who receive an average score of at least a 3.25 on all AP exams taken and grades of 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams. Miss Anna Crawley, please step forward. Miss Anna Crawley has received the AP International Diploma. It is granted to students who receive an average score of 3 or higher on 5 or more AP exams in 3 or more subject area, which includes foreign language. Thank you. As I call your name, scholars, please come up. Graham Ball, Regina Bellion, Taylor Jones, Aviva Klein, Ariana Murray. These ladies and gentlemen have earned the Advanced Placement Scholar with distinction. They earned an average of a 3.5 on all AP exams taken and scores of 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams. Would Regina Bellion please step forward? Not here. Okay. Okay. The National Advanced Placement Scholar Award is granted to students in the United States who receive an average score of at least 4 on all AP exams taken and scores of 4 or higher on 8 or more of these exams. Regina Bellion has achieved this prestigious award for 2016. To all of our scholars, let's give a hearty round of applause for their hard work, dedication, achievements.
Congratulations, guys. Good job.
I want to commend these students and all the remaining students that will be recognized this evening. I want to thank all of our students for their tremendous recognition and honors they have brought to our school district. I also want to thank the community for your support of our student body. Please enjoy the evening. At this time, Mr. Ross will now present the President's Award for Educational Excellence. Thank you.
Did I share how much I love those kids? I got to get that out. I love these kids. We have the best kids, not just in Ohio, but I think in the whole country, and that is the honest truth. They often don't get the recognition that I think they deserve, but I'm telling you, we have the best kids. So I'm going to, at this time, present the President's Award for Educational Excellence. So would the following students please join me on stage? Graham Ball, Regina Bellum, Anna Crawley, Sophia Drogowski, Jonathan Hicks, Aviva Klein, Naomi Marsh, Isabel McGall, Kelly Moore, Ariana Murray, Andrew Schillenberg, Emma Schubert, Hannah Smith, Landry Sneed, Allegra Steiger, Terry Wheeler, Lyndon Wyke, and Emma Zardin. The President's Education Award Program, established by the United States Department of Education, recognizes and honors outstanding educational achievement. Students must have a 3.5 grade point average or better on a 4.0 scale. Also, students must score in the 85th percentile or higher in math and reading on standardized achievement tests. These students are our recipients of the President's Educational Awards Program. I have a letter from the White House written and signed by President Obama. Each of you has received a copy of it, and it will be read. It reads as follows. Please accept my congratulations on receiving the President's Educational Award. I commend you for the powerful example you have set for your family, friends, and peers, and it is a privilege to join in recognizing your achievement. Our country faces great challenges, and we will overcome them if we all work together in common purpose, no matter who we are or how old we may be. America looks to students like you, whose dreams and determination knows no bounds, to strengthen our communities and to help drive our nation forward. Your commitment to your education demonstrates the creativity and energy that will chart the course of our unwritten history, allowing us to reimagine reality and seek new frontiers. I'm inspired by your motivation and work ethic, and it gives me great hope to know our future will be written by ambitious young people like you. I encourage you to continue working hard and aiming high, and I wish you all the very best. This is signed by President Barack Obama. Now, how cool is that, to get an award from the President of the United States of America? Students, as you depart, our district community and our high school are all so proud of you. We congratulate you. Did I say how much I love those students? So parents, if you don't want them, they can come with me. I don't mind having them. We now will begin our local scholarship and award portion of the program, and we're going to ask Ann Barrett to come forward at this time. You can clap for Ann as she's coming forward.
Hi. My name is Ann Barrett, Ann Lewis Barrett, and John Lewis, for whom this award is named, graduated from Heights High School in 1952. John would have been my uncle had he not dozed off behind the wheel during the summer following his graduation, just 8 days prior to his 17th birthday. A successful student, an athlete, the apple of his parents' eyes, a friend, John had big plans for his future. However, his plans came to an immediate end when he drifted over the center line of the highway and hit a tractor trailer head-on. My family was, and still is, profoundly affected by John's death, especially by the unrealized potential that such a tragic and untimely loss represents. Unrealized potential is really what the John Lewis Award is about, as it was established to help Cleveland Heights High students stick to their plans, follow their dreams, realize great potential. But alas, as John's story demonstrates, big plans and great potential can be destroyed in one terrible instant. John headed out for a camping trip with his high school buddies, had not been drinking nor texting, but he had been on the road too long and he was tired. John's story matters, and this award was established in the hopes that all of you, with your futures stretching out in front of you, keep that in mind and strive to honor his memory by not only making the most of each and every moment, but by understanding that doing so requires that you maintain a healthy awareness of the risks. It is my privilege to present this year's John Lewis Award to a young man who has clearly big plans and tremendous potential, possessing a wonderful disposition and strong character, facing setbacks by looking for positive outcomes, freely helping others and willingly doing the grunt work. This year's recipient is passionate, artsy, free-spirited, has participated in the Tri-C All-Star Band and Jazz Workshop, the High School Jazz Ensemble, Jazz Combo, and Chamber Ensemble, has taken a full college course load during his senior year while continuing his musical pursuits, graduates with a 3.4 GPA, and plans to attend Kent State University this fall with a major in computer science and art. Congratulations, Gennaro Aiken. Come on up. Good work and good luck. Congratulations.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mark Sack, and I have the honor of teaching social studies here at Heights High School, and I'd like to invite two outstanding students up, Taylor Jones and Marcy Rosenberg. Please join me. Holocaust-related education began at Cleveland Heights High School in the mid-1970s. For the past 40 years, thousands of students have not only learned historical facts about that horrific period of time before and during World War II, but students have also been exposed to thought-provoking conversations about the dangers of prejudice, discrimination, and hate. Additionally, over the years, students have had meaningful experiences in such faraway places as Poland and Israel, and at the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington, D.C., the African American History and Holocaust Museums in Detroit, and locally at the Maltz Museum in Beechwood. Our Holocaust class students have also had opportunities to help others through community service projects and engage in conversations about important things like racism in America with students from all over Greater Cleveland. The main goals of Holocaust studies here at Heights and those outside of the classroom experience focus on helping our students become more thoughtful and tolerant people who not only won't engage in insensitive behavior toward others, but also become people who will speak up and take action against prejudice and discrimination. In some small way, it is hoped that our lessons of the Holocaust students will contribute to making Heights High and our community better places for all. In the fall of 2014, the Holocaust Education Fund within the Heights High Alumni Foundation received a grant from the Traub Family Foundation, and that money is utilized for special field trip experiences and for 2 scholarships for outstanding senior Lessons of the Holocaust students. The first scholarship is the Gita Frankel Community Service Scholarship. Mrs. Frankel is a 90-year-old Holocaust survivor who has dedicated herself to help educate Heights High students about the dangers of intolerance and hate. The impact of her conversations with our students is immeasurable. All of her presentations with Heights High students end in mutual admiration and lots of hugs and tears. The second scholarship is the Holocaust Studies Academic Excellence Scholarship, named in honor of Dr. Leetris Rabinski, a former Heights High teacher who started Holocaust education here at Heights in 1974. Dr. Rabinski is an internationally renowned educator, and she has influenced the lives of tens of thousands of students of all ages, and we are fortunate to have had her as a teacher and mentor here at Heights High. In reviewing the outstanding applications for these scholarships this year, the committee has determined that the following 2 students stood out for their respective accomplishments. Marcy Rosenberg is being awarded the Gita Frankel Scholarship for Exceptional Community Service. Marcy, please step over. Congratulations. And Taylor Jones is being awarded the Dr. Leetris Rabinski Scholarship for her academic achievement in the area of Holocaust education. The committee commends both Taylor and Marcy for their past accomplishments, wishes them all the best in their future endeavors, and wants them to always remember that what you do matters. Congratulations.
Would Chair Sanders, Regina Bellin, and Aviva Klein please step forward? I first have to comment that the last time I was here for graduation was when my now 63-year-old daughter graduated from Wiley, and I thought you were supposed to go from Wiley to Heights. But you guys have it backwards. You seem to have gone from Heights to Wiley. In a little over 70 years ago, I graduated from Heights High School in 1946. I attended Western Reserve University through June and then enlisted in the United States Army, coming back home in 1948. A few months after being home, I attended a baseball game and I met a beautiful young lady by the name of Fay Kats. In 1950, in August, we were married. Fay was a very remarkable lady. She was the treasure of her class. She received her undergraduate and graduate degrees at Floristone Manor at Western Reserve. She was a school psychologist in the inner city of Cleveland. She was a member of the original Head Start program. She was good as a person could be. She died in May of 1978. My wife, Audrey, and my 2 children and I decided that we would like to set up an award in memory of Fay to select a woman who best exemplified Fay's values. This happens to be the 30th anniversary of the award, and we're starting a new plaque. we fill the old one, so 30 years from now, somebody will start a new plaque once again. This year, we were honored because we had 2 people who were finalists in this, and they were Regina, who will attend Cleveland State, and her family is from the Philippines. She entered Heights in the 9th grade from Jesuit. Aviva Klein is a finalist, and she will be attending the University of Michigan. She is a musician, plays in the Youth Orchestra Awards, and wants to be conductor. It is my pleasure to give the awards. I have a check somewhere. Aviva, here is a check and here is a certificate. Thank you. Thank you. The winner this year, I'm proud to announce, is Cherish Sanders. Cherish will attend Ursuline and will be in a 3-year accelerated nursing program. I would like to give you your certificate and also your check. And finally, I would just like to say it's so wonderful to be able to come back to Heights. I was the only person other than the choir that was singing the alma mater. If you heard a discordant note, you know that it was me. Thank you and congratulations, ladies. Let me give you a hug. You gotta give me a hug.
Good evening. I'd like to invite Landry Sneed to join me on the stage, please, at this time. So as Landry's making her way up, congratulations, seniors. My name is Carolyn Rogers. I'm the recruitment coordinator for the Parker Hannifin Corporation. Parker Hannifin is the global leader in motion and control technologies, and we're proud to have been based in Cleveland since 1917. At Parker, we engineer success. Parker has a rich tradition of community involvement, and today we continue our support of academic excellence by awarding the 2016 Parker Hannifin Foundation Scholarship for the pursuit of higher education in a technical field. Not only does this scholarship offer financial support, it also comes with the opportunity to be considered for an internship position with Parker next summer. This year's recipient, Landry Sneed, will be pursuing a degree in computer science this fall. She has maintained a 4.1 GPA while working, being involved in extracurricular activities, notably softball and the Minority Student Achievement Network, as well as taking university courses and getting all A's. A faculty member, yes. A faculty member has described her as a quiet, steady force that works hard for things she believes in. She is very mature, serves with purpose, and doesn't need anyone to say her name, but we're gonna say it tonight. She has tutored students in math and has, as a part of a achievement gap intervention. Parker is delighted to award this year's scholarship to Landry Sneed, and we enthusiastically encourage her to apply for an internship with Parker for summer 2017. Please join me in congratulating Landry.
Good evening, students, teachers, Heights High administrators, families, and friends. I am Clarence McElrath. I am the president of the Cleveland Alumni chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And I'm with my brother, Brandon Griffin, who is the committee chairman of our Delta Alpha Lambda chapter scholarship. We are here tonight to present to 3 members of the class of 2016 a small token of our appreciation for their hard work over the last 4 years. Our fraternity motto is Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated develops leaders, promotes brotherhood and academic excellence while providing service and advocacy for our communities. And today we are here to help move that mission along a little further by recognizing these 3 young men in front of their peers for outstanding performance and exceptional commitment to academic achievement and citizenship. Now we want to invite the young men up, Brandon.
Good evening, everyone. How we feeling? Good. All right, give me some crowd participation, all right? All right. So what we want to do is just taking a little bit of a different angle. There are over 500 young men who wanted to apply for this scholarship. So through our rigorous process, we dwindled that down to 100 people, then got it down to 28, then got it down to the outstanding 10. So we use a ranking system for that, and I already shared this with your wonderful principal. Not only am I privileged and humbled to stand here and call these young men up, but these happen to be the 3 top-ranked candidates in Northeast Ohio for the Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Scholarship. So, in no particular order at this point, and that'll be revealed in a second, I want to call Easton Figueroa to the stage, DeMonte Meeks to the stage, and Jonathan Hicks to the stage.
Well, while they're coming up, I just want to make a couple extra points. You know, Alpha Phi Alpha has been a member of the greater Cleveland community for over 102 years and has always strived for excellence in the classroom from our members. And over the last 69 years, the alumni chapter of Greater Cleveland has sought to reward students and try to do what we can and try to reward students whatever type of support we can, and not only to add to their confidence while moving on to the next level of education, but also try to give them a little help financially. And I want to say over the last 30 years, the Greater Cleveland Alumni Chapter has awarded well over $100,000 to some of the top students in the area, and today is no different. So we are here to publicly acknowledge these 3 young men from Cleveland Heights High School as recipients of the 2016 Alpha Phi Alpha Scholarship. We, the men of Alpha Phi Alpha, salute you.
All right, so in closing, on behalf of the brothers of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, I'm going to tell you what place you finished in the rankings of Northeast Ohio, right? Again, tremendous job, gentlemen, tremendous job. All right, so looking at this, when you look at Alpha, part of our motto is manly deeds, scholarship, and love for all mankind, a point that each of these young men chose to submit an essay on and went through a very, very tough interview and had some outstanding letters of recommendation. So, in the essence of scholarship, we look at some of the history of Alpha, and we have members such as Thurgood Marshall, Dr. Martin Luther King, and Garrett A. Morgan. I don't impress easily, but I think by the time these young men are all said and done academically and getting some professional seasoning, they can be mentioned in the same breath as those wonderful brothers of our organization. And that's high praise, gentlemen. I don't impress easily. All right? All right, so the overall 3rd place winner of the Delta Alpha Lambda Foundation, Alpha Phi Alpha Scholarship for 2016, this young man had a quote between his interview and his essay where he said, "The world can simply become a better place if everyone just does a little bit more. I'm going to do more by majoring in game design, and then I'm going to market myself as an outstanding baseball player that I am for Cleveland Heights High School. The fact that he said over and over again, right? Wanted to keep plugging that. He doesn't just wait for feedback. He goes and seeks out feedback according to his baseball coaches, because Phi Alpha is a school for the better making of man, but he believes in making himself better internally so he can make his peers better. I want you guys to welcome me, our third place winner, Mr. Easton Figueroa. All right, so it's just you two now, right? All right. This young man had a weighted GPA of 4.02 and was our overall second highest ranked recipient of the 2016 Delta Alpha Lambda Foundation Phi Alpha Scholarship. This young man had a quote between his interview that kind of took myself and our humble members of my organization kind of by surprise. He said that I believe to be a servant of all mankind, it takes love. And the main ingredient in love, if it's genuine, is to be a man of faith and hard work, because hard work never ends. This young man is proud to be a legacy of Cleveland Heights High School, but he wants to leave a legacy at Cleveland Heights High School, and he wants to create additional legacies for those who follow him, because he believes in order to pay it forward, you have to go ahead and establish yourself in present time. And love transcends all things and all times. And with that being said, I want to go ahead and bring up our second overall winner in Cuyahoga County of the Delta Alpha Lambda Foundation Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated Scholarship, Mr. Jonathan Hicks. So I guess there's not a lot of suspense left about who our top overall ranked candidate is, right? So this young man took a little bit of a different approach, and it kind of caught me off guard because I work in human resource for the government, and a lot of times I hear a lot of people interview and they give you some answers that you know they're just adding fluff. But it's very, very rare that a young man stands before me and comes across as sincere and as passionate and has a strong sense of integrity as this young man I'm about to bring to the podium. He started off his essay, well, he ended his essay the same way he started off his interview by saying, no matter what, no matter when the chips are stacked against me, I will forge on. I will always overcome my obstacles, and nothing will ever stop me from not only being a blessing to myself, my family, and my community, but to everything in every fashion that God has given me an opportunity to bless and touch. So when you start an interview off like that, we just like, wow. All right, so with that being said, he said it's possible to get good grades and be cool while still being a servant. He places the needs of others before himself. He's very analytical. And he said it takes a real man to go against the grain of negativity for the betterment of all mankind, which between his analytical side and the spirit of service that he appears he wants to follow by joining the Air Force Academy. I see a lot of myself in this young man, but I think he's going to reach greater heights than any of us ever imagined. And he has better hair than I have, by the way, too, right? I want to call the #1 ranked candidate in Northeast Ohio of the 2016 Delta Alpha Lambda Foundation Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated Scholarship, Mr. DeMonte Meeks. I would just ask in closing, well, first of all, I just want to thank you on behalf of the Ice Cold Brothers of Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated for allowing us, right, I had to plug that in there, right? Don't worry about nothing. I just want to thank you guys for welcoming us, and I just want to ask you guys one more time to partner with the brothers of A-Phi A just to salute these wonderful young men that are 3 of Cleveland Heights' finest that you've ever produced. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
How do I get to follow that? By the way, I think he went over his 2 to 3 minutes. Erica Gandy, would you join me up here? As president of Temple Emanuel, I'd like to congratulate you on being awarded this scholarship from the Sharon Marcia Tenenbaum Fund. The family, friends, and members of our congregation established this fund in memory of Sharon, a 1959 graduate of Heights High School. Prior to her graduation from college, she was taken from her parents and the world by a fatal illness. Each year, Temple Emanuel presents this award to a worthy Heights High School student who plans to attend a state-supported college in Ohio and to whom the scholarship would make a significant difference in his or her ability to attend. So I understand from your principal that you've maintained an excellent GPA. You've been involved in many meaningful extracurricular activities that center around helping children and families. And one of the program specialists at John Carroll also said of Erica that she is one of the most genuine and dedicated students he has ever worked with. For that reason, it's my honor to present you with this scholarship and hope that it helps in your journey at Bowling Green State University, and may you find success in this and all your future endeavors.
Would Jordan Hall and Taryn Wright please come to the stage? I'm Lita Gonzalez, co-chair of the Officer Jason West Memorial Scholarship Committee. Here with me tonight is Cleveland Heights Police Officer Sean Hinkle. On May 26, 2007, Officer Jason West responded to a disturbance call. He was the first to arrive and tragically lost his life in the line of duty. That night, while protecting the citizens of Cleveland Heights, he made the ultimate sacrifice, and this city lost not only a dedicated police officer, but also a very dear friend and neighbor. To those who knew Officer Jason West, he was a hero, not because of the way he died, but because of the way he chose to live his life. As a devoted son and brother, a loyal friend, as a mentor and role model to young adults in the community, and as a dedicated police officer. Being a police officer was a career he had always wanted to do. Protecting and serving the city of Cleveland Heights was something he did proudly every day. The residents and businesses in Cleveland Heights, together with family, friends, and fellow officers of Officer Jason West, came together in 2008 to establish the Officer Jason West Memorial Scholarship Fund. It is a 2-year scholarship that is awarded each year to a graduating senior from the criminal justice program who plans on pursuing a career in law enforcement or criminal justice, and who exemplifies Officer West's dedication to and work as a police officer. Recipients receive the second part of the scholarship after they complete their first year in college. Before I go on to talk about these two graduating seniors, I want to mention that we do a plaque that has the seniors' names on it. And on this plaque, one name appears twice. In 2012, Stedman Smith received the Officer Jason West Scholarship. But after graduating, he put his scholarship on hold, went into the National Guard, joined the Army, and then was deployed to Afghanistan. When he came back last year, he asked if he could use his scholarship to go to the police academy. Not only did the committee say yes, but we paid for his total tuition to the Cleveland Heights Police Academy. Today, he is an officer for Maple Heights, and I was very honored to go to his induction and his swearing in. Both of the seniors standing here completed the 2-year criminal justice program and have passed the Ohio Peace Officers Training Academy certification test and are now certified by the Ohio Attorney General as new private security officers. Like Officer West, Taryn Wright hopes to be a role model to young people and to help his community. He's a member of an environmental AmeriCorps National Service Program sponsored by Western Reserve Resource Conservation and Development Council, helping to restore public green spaces in Cleveland Heights. Those that recommended him for this scholarship say he's conscientious, respectful, hardworking, and persistent in the face of obstacles. He's a silent leader, but he's always willing to step forward and help others succeed. He will begin his future in the field of criminal justice this fall at Cleveland State University, majoring in criminology. Jordan Hall is a natural leader, a hard worker, fast learner, goal-driven, and dedicated to whatever he pursues in life. Like Officer West, Jordan has a strong work ethic and a strong character. He participates in both cross-country and track, often placing first in meets. He participates in many outreach programs like food and clothing drives at the church he attends. And he will begin his future in the field of criminal justice this fall at Youngstown State University, majoring in criminology. Congratulations to both of you.
Good evening. I would like to call Quentin Davis, Sharice Sanders, Easton Figueroa, and Deja Newton to the podium to join us, please. My name is Joyce Ramsey Thompson. This scholarship was founded as a memorial to our son, Calvin M. Singleton III. On the afternoon of September 5th, 2015, Calvin was celebrating his 30th birthday at Venice Beach in Los Angeles, California. He had just spent previous days hanging out with friends and family close by. This was his first lone trip to California. Calvin loved the water, especially swimming, spending every summer of his adolescent years working as a lifeguard at Cumberland Swimming Pool in Cleveland Heights. Calvin very unexpectedly drowned while doing what he loved the most, which was being outdoors in the sun and in the water.
Growing up in Cleveland Heights, Ohio, Calvin enjoyed life. including his faith in God and a love for family, sports, and music. Calvin persisted through many obstacles, but he never let them stand in his way, which allowed him to overcome his lifelong hearing impairments and partial hearing loss in both ears. His persistence enabled him to graduate Heights High in 2003 while participating in band, track, and field. He went on to attend the University of Edinburgh in Erie, PA, where he found a balance with academics, track, and field, and an active community and social life. In his 4 years at Edinburgh, he pursued his interest in forensic chemistry and obtained a Bachelor of Arts degree in criminal justice and minoring in chemistry. This led to his position at ALS in Cleveland, Ohio, where he was employed as a laboratory technician.
Calvin's Cleveland Heights experience brought him full circle, from Horizon Montessori to Fairfax Elementary School to Roxborough Middle School, and culminating at his wonderful Heights High. Through his experiences, Calvin touched many lives, and it is because of these memorable experiences that we take great pleasure in assisting other students in achieving their goals and aspirations through this scholarship in honor of Calvin Singleton III. This is our, obviously, first time going through this, and it's pretty humbling just to see how these students have really strived to achieve, and we do wish them the best and the most success in what their fields will be. At this point, let me call Quentin Davis. Easton Figueroa. Cherish Sanders. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Barbara Burgess Van Aken, and I'm here tonight to present the Robert L. Soltz Community Service Award to Marcy Rosenberg and Landry Sneed. Would they please come forward at this time? While Marcy and Landry are making their way to the stage, let me explain that this award was established to honor the memory of my late husband, Robert L. Soltz, who was a community activist in the Heights area and a former member of the Cleveland Heights University Heights School Board. Bob believed that everyone, regardless of his or her talents, can and should give back to one's community. The 19 students who applied for this award apparently agree with Bob because their applications were outstanding. I have to say the committee was also very impressed with the quality of the writing of the essays that the students had to write for this award. And so I just want to say, because I'm an English professor, good job, students, and good job, English teachers here at Heights High. But let's get back to Landry and Marcy. Landry and Marcy stood out to the selection committee in several significant but very different ways. In considering candidates, we look at the person's breadth of service, their passion and their commitment, and their vision and leadership. In other words, is what they are doing, are they aware of what they are doing fits into the bigger picture of how we can make society a better place. Marcy and Landry both were off the charts in all three categories. Marcy got her vision of helping special needs students in her freshman year. And not only did she devote 2 free periods a day in the special education classroom, but she became president of Project Support, a club that assists special needs students. Then she expanded her service to the Friendship Circle, a teen support group primarily for Jewish students with special needs, and then to volunteering at the Cleveland Site Center as a camp counselor for visually impaired preschoolers. I was so impressed with what Marcy wrote in her application. She said, "I've come to the realization that if I'm healthy and able-bodied, why not put those gifts to good use? If I'm able to understand things in a way that others cannot, or complete certain tasks that others have difficulties doing, why not help them grasp a better idea of how to understand and to do?" You can see why Marcy excelled in all 3 of the award criteria. Landry, too, has demonstrated versatility, passion, and leadership in her service. On multiple fronts, she is addressing race relations. She has worked with the Minority Student Achievement Network on the national level in Cleveland and right here at Heights High. She has taken the initiative to implement school-wide programs such as tutoring sessions in the library. She has helped others as an early college ambassador. She works with 5th graders every week to create lessons on the Constitution in the East Cleveland schools. And also as a leadership intern at Camp Invention, a program for 5- and 6-year-old inventors. I love that. Through the YWCA Foundation, she recently participated in a citywide conversation with schools, corporate leaders, and community members on how to address issues on race. Landry wrote about that event in her essay. She said, "I was the youngest person there to share my story. I was a young leader at this event. When I went back to my school and shared my experience, others wanted to tell their stories too. I achieved my goal of encouraging people to speak openly about a topic that heavily affects our lives. That opportunity made me a role model." And then I love how she closed her essay. She said, "My success and growth has amplified my passion to be an extraordinary woman with the drive to succeed and to help others succeed with me." To all you seniors, I want to take a moment to say, I know that graduating, for all the hoopla and good fun parts of it, can also be a little bit of a scary time. They don't call it commencement for nothing. When you walk down that aisle, you can't help but be aware that you are now beginning a new life. You're starting down a path of self-discovery, of finding out who you're going to be as an adult. My advice to you is to be inspired by these 2 outstanding young women who have learned early in life that the words of my all-time favorite leader, Mahatma Gandhi, are very true. He said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." By losing themselves in work with special needs kids and race relations, Marcy and Landry have discovered themselves as passionate and caring leaders. We're so proud of you. Please join me in congratulating them.
I am Sherry Appleton. My husband and I and our children are all Heights grads. I am honored to be making the presentation of this award. And if Mr. Porter from the Autotech program is here, could you come up on stage along with, pardon? He is? He's not here. Could Aliyah Amin and Christian Simmons please come up, who are Mr. Porter's students? The Samuel Appleton Autotech Scholarship recognizes the accomplishments of a graduating Heights senior in the Autotech program. Sam Appleton was an East Tech grad and an Air Force mechanic during World War II who continued in the automotive industry during his professional career. It would have meant a lot to him to help young adults in this Heights Autotech program. Sam passed away in 1978. This scholarship was established last year in his memory by his wife and family through the Fay Kaplan Charitable Foundation. Fay, who is here tonight, was a 1942 Heights grad, along with her twin brother, and you'll be meeting her younger brother, Harold Mendes, shortly. This $500 scholarship is intended to help a graduating Autotech senior with further education, training, or supplies to help establish themselves in their field. In reviewing the scholarship applications, the committee recognized more than one strong candidate who has taken responsibility for their education, reflected on their life experiences, and has met the high expectations, very high expectations, of Mr. Porter and the Autotech program. The committee decided instead to honor two graduating seniors. Sam would have been very proud to award these scholarships to Aliyah Amin. Congratulations. And to Christian Simmons. Congratulations to them both.
Will Darielle Silvers please come to the stage? The Danielle Gibbs Scholarship is given to honor the life and memory of Danielle Gibbs. Her spirit and her smile were inspirational and a delight for all of us. The scholarship is given to a senior who has achieved academically as well as being involved in extracurricular activity. The student has an interest in special needs students. This year, the scholarship is awarded to Darielle Silver. Darielle, come on, get over here. Don't be shy. Darielle has learned her purpose in life through personal experience and her student service extracurricular class. She could have selected any class, but what she did was she chose to help with moderate to intensive special needs students. Every school day for 2 periods, one which was her lunch break, with compassion and joy, Dari assisted them with learning daily life skills so that they will live a healthy and sustainable life. This fall, she plans to begin her quest to become a special education teacher at Cuyahoga Community College, at which she will then transfer to Cleveland State University. Dari, congratulations. The students and the teachers will miss you so much.
So brave.
Can Michelle Posh and Breon Kennedy please come up? When the visual art department was asked to nominate a student for an award at tonight's ceremony, it was a very difficult decision. We have so many seniors deserving of this award. We could not just choose one, so we have chosen two seniors, Michelle Posh and Breon Kennedy. I have had the pleasure of having both of these young ladies in my classes for several years. While each of us is lucky enough to work with many talented and dedicated student artists every day, these two girls have raised the bar on many levels. They have participated and won many awards in a variety of regional and state-level competitions and exhibitions. Their work is a constant inspiration to me as a teacher, as well as their peers. Their maturity, dedication, and exceptional creativity will surely take them very, very far.
Michelle will be attending American University this fall, where she plans to major in graphic design and business administration. Breon plans to attend Kent State University, where she will major in fashion merchandising. We know that both girls will be a great success in all that they do, and that their art will continue to bring joy to themselves and those around them. Congratulations, Michelle and Breon, and cheers to your next artistic adventure.
Follow your dreams. This is your journey, and congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hello, I'd like to ask Jewel Flannery and Ruth Mafuda to please come on stage. While they're coming on stage, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Jean Heflick, and I'm a proud graduate of Wiley Junior High School and Heights High School. So it's very nice to be here representing my mother, my aunt who's here tonight, and my 8 cousins. My aunt, Ruth Friedman, was a graduate of Cleveland Heights High School. And when she was a student here, she was the advertising manager for the Black and Gold. And that volunteer student position led to over 60 years of a career in Cleveland here in the advertising business. She started at a time when there were very few women in business, and through those years she built a wonderful career and lasting friendships. She developed long-term business relationships and was known for her personality and her integrity. When she died in 1996, my aunts and mother and uncle and us cousins decided what better way to remember her, because her career was such an important part of her life. But what we wanted to do was start a scholarship program. So here we are 20 years later, And tonight we have an opportunity to recognize 2 students. Normally we just give one scholarship, but this year when we looked over the information, there were beautiful writings from these 2 young women. And Ruth says a couple things, and this is very brief, that she has a thirst for knowledge and insight, and she's a curious person, and that in her opinion, curiosity won't kill the cat. And Flannery said that she has a passion for finding truth and justice within my community and beyond. They are great writers, and I want to wish them, on behalf of our family, a wonderful success as they go off to college and pursue a career in public relations or journalism. Thank you. Congratulations. Best wishes.
I'm sorry, I am not Wayne Dawson. Would Olivia Brown please come forward, please? The Annie L. Dawson Foundation Scholarship is awarded to individuals who embody hard work and determination. We select students who strive to do their very best in order to achieve success. This scholarship was founded after the mother of Fox 8 News anchor Wayne Dawson and Judge William Dawson of the East Cleveland Municipal Court. Mrs. Annie Dawson always preached tenacity, perseverance, and the importance of education. We are proud, the Dawson family is proud, to select a Heights High senior, Olivia Brown, as the 2016 $1,000 scholarship recipient. You can come over here. I won't fight you. Olivia is in the top 11% of the senior class with a 3.75 GPA. Not only is she an academic role model for her peers, she gives of herself through several organizations in our school. She is a true leader as a co-president of the gospel choir. She can really sing. Okay. Her poise, her presentation, and her overall spirit will inspire you. Olivia will major in fashion design at Kent State University. Olivia, congratulations. This is a certificate from them for $1,000. And this, they weren't able to make it, so they're going to mail the stuff to you, okay? All right, congrats, hon. Would Evan Rinaldi come forward, please? Dorothy Cross was an English teacher at Cleveland Heights High School for 30 years. She taught alternative as well as the traditional classes. She was the advisor of the literary magazine. She had an amazing sense of humor. But what is most remembered about Dorothy is that she was a very, very dedicated teacher who loved her students and expected the best of them, and she was very much loved by them. This memorial scholarship is awarded to a student who has worked diligently and showed much improvement in their writing skills. This year's recipient is Evan Rinaldi. Evan's English teacher, Ms. Strine, wrote the following. Evan has always been an honors English student, but decided to take AP English this year. This new level of analysis was new for him. He worked hard at interpreting complex literature and articulating his observations in writing. Ms. Strine is very proud of you, Mr. Your tremendous growth. She said that you excelled from one grade level to another. Excellent. Congrats. She believes that you will continue with this newfound literary strength in your collegiate studies. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hello, I'd like to call to the stage Henry Gray and Connor Lewis. My name is Melissa Rink, and I am honored to be here tonight on behalf of the Barden Benner Carter Memorial Foundation to present awards to these two outstanding young men. Our Memorial Foundation was established in 2001 following a tragic car accident which took the lives of Cleveland Heights High School students Kyle Barden, Brendan Benner, and Milton Carter. They were all members of the Cleveland Heights High School varsity hockey team. Our scholarship is presented each year in commemoration of Kyle, Brendan, and Milton for individuals associated with the Heights High School hockey team. This year we have two deserving and extremely well-qualified recipients. Henry and Connor have exhibited hard work and dedication on the ice, and more importantly, in the classroom with an impressive list of honors and AP courses. They have both achieved numerous academic and athletic accomplishments and are involved in various extracurricular activities, both through Heights High and the community. I have to say, as a Heights High alum and a mom of a freshman on the high school hockey team, this was really a wonderful, fun year for the hockey team. They were undefeated in the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League. They won the Barron Cup for the first time in 25 years. And they finished in the Sweet 16 in the state tournament. So it is with, yes, absolutely. So it is with great pleasure that we get to celebrate two members of the hockey team tonight and their athletic and academic achievements. Our first recipient is Henry Gray. Henry was a member of the varsity hockey team for 4 years and the varsity lacrosse team for 3 years. He was also a member of the marching band for 4 years, where he was a trombone sergeant for 1 year and a corporal for a year. Henry participated in the All-Ohio State Fair Band for 3 years. He also was a counselor in the Reaching Heights Summer Music Camp, where he received the Best Junior Counselor Award. Henry has a GPA of 3.8 and will be attending Denison University. Congratulations, Henry.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Here you
Awesome.
go. Our next recipient is Connor Lewis. Connor was a 4-year member of the Heights High varsity hockey team and was a senior captain this season. He also made the first team in the White East All-Division team for the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League. Connor was a member of the Heights High varsity soccer team for 4 years and was the senior captain this year. He made the Greater Cleveland second team and was named to the All-Ohio academic team for soccer. Connor was also a member of the Heights lacrosse team for 4 years and was a senior captain for this team as well. Connor was the student section assistant club president at Heights and coached, and I believe is still coaching, youth soccer in the community for the last 4 years. Connor has a 4.05 GPA and will be attending The Ohio State University. Congratulations. Congratulations and good luck to you both.
Good evening. Would Regina Bellion please come to the stage? I'll read. The Rotary Club of Shaker Heights annually awards scholarships to graduating seniors from area high schools who will be attending college in the fall of 2016. Interested students must demonstrate a record of academic achievement and community service. This year, the scholarship is in the amount of $2,000. Regina Bellion, English teacher, writes that Gina does not only excel in the classroom, she participates in several singing groups and plays an instrument. She serves as a member of the National Honor Society. She is a friend and role model for many peers, all while maintaining a 4.5 GPA and upholding a professional rapport with faculty. In short, Gina embodies exemplary student characteristics. Congratulations, Gina.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eric Silverman, Cleveland Heights High School Class of '87. Executive Director of the Cleveland Heights High School Alumni Foundation, and I'm also a member of the Cleveland Heights University School Board. Between my 8 years on the school board in the 90s and my tenure with the Alumni Association and Foundation, this is my 23rd senior awards, which is making me start to feel old. This is always my favorite event of the year because it shows what Heights High is. The breadth of scholarships we have represents the pluralism of Heights High. Also, to me, it is the ultimate rebuttal to our critics, our, shall we say, folks who are a tad biased or bigoted, as well as our friendly internet trolls. This event, to me, is the best of Heights High when you see folks coming back to this event 20 years after they graduated, 40 years after they graduated, 60 years after they graduated. It tells you that they have a commitment and attachment. The Alumni Foundation's predecessor, the Cleveland Heights High School Alumni Association, was created in 1995 by the school board as a way to highlight the achievement of our current students as well as the achievements of our graduates. In 2001, the Alumni Foundation was created as a separate 501c3 nonprofit. In 2004, the two organizations merged, and the foundation took on all of the work of the association. So because I'm here and I've got a lot of awards to give out, I'll give a little bit about what the foundation does. First, we have 2 different websites as well as our Facebook page. When I started doing this, this was a big deal, having a, internet was a big deal then, but now it's no big deal. Everyone has a website. We also do a newsletter twice a year, mailed out to 25,000 households. We oversee the district's archives. What else do we do? We launched the, partnering with the school district, we run heightsgear.com, which is a complete e-commerce website between colors, sizes, and styles. There's over 2,500 different items. It's ostensibly a collegiate level program, and since I need to do a shameless plug, it makes wonderful graduation gifts. We host the Hall of Fame, which we just did at Lander Haven, the 36th annual. We also have a alumni cocktail party as a fundraiser, and then we have a pancake breakfast, scholarship pancake breakfast here, which generates a portion of the monies that we'll be giving out today. We do all this with a number of very tired volunteers because we don't have any staff. Or I should say we have no paid staff. A little bit of math. Over time, we've gone from having 1 scholarship to 4 to this year, we have approximately 15 scholarships, which if I do my math, I should be up here for 45 minutes, but since I don't have a sweet melodic voice, I will be as quick as I can. We have, let's see, approximately, I should have 25 students coming up here this evening, totaling awards of just under $30,000. 39 students, which is about 10% of the senior class, applied for at least one of our scholarships. They submitted almost 100 applications, and one scholarship drew 20 submissions. One of the things I always find interesting is that only about a third of our graduating seniors started with us in kindergarten because we have a very highly mobile population. But 70% of our scholarship applicants started with us in kindergarten. So a lot of the names we see coming across, they sound very familiar. The one thing I find very distressing is last year, 80% of our applicants were female. This year, the men made a bit of an improvement, and only 70% of our applicants were female. So I say to the parents who have young men, apply for a scholarship. You fill out some paperwork, and you got a good chance of getting a check. Now, I will try to be as brief as possible, so I will probably speak a little fast. My apologies for that. But if you go to heightsalumni.org, you can read more about our scholarships and what we do. And I also will apologize in advance for the names that I mispronounce and I mangle. We had a principal here years ago who I think intentionally did that, but I will not. I will try to be good, but I forgot to ask Jackie for pronunciations this year. So with our first scholarship, if I could have Kelly Moore come to the stage for the... This is the Schreckengas Gady Design Scholarship. The scholarship is awarded to a student attending college with the goal of a career in art, design, or architecture in honor of 2 great men. Victor Schreckengas worked in various mediums over the course of his life. He was an artist who worked in ceramics, created sculptures, and painted in oils and watercolors. He was also known for his designs for mass-produced dinnerware and millions of bicycles and pedal cars that were created to his designs. He was also an industrial designer before there was a term for it. While not a graduate of Cleveland Heights High School, Mr. Strickland lived in Cleveland Heights for over 50 years, and his stepchildren and grandchildren are Heights alumni. After graduating from Heights, Robert Gady earned his BA in architecture at the University of Michigan. During World War II, he achieved the rank of captain as a meteorologist in the U.S. Army Air Corps. He started with the firm of Garfield, Harris, Robinson, and Schaefer and launched his own practice in 1956. Mr. Gady would become known as a leader in architectural preservation well before the field would gain prominence. His advocacy began in the 1950s, leading to the creation of the Cleveland Restoration Society. So congratulations, Kelly. If I could have Ruth Mafuda and Shantara Manning come to the stage for the Deb Delisle Scholarship. Deb Delisle was superintendent of the CHHS School District from 2003 to 2008 before becoming the State of Ohio Superintendent of Public Instruction. During her tenure, she brought an unprecedented and contagious energy and passion, as well as an unyielding belief in every student in the district. Her focus on the success of all students articulated through her mantra, every student, every day, some success, some way. This charted a path toward excellence, which continues to motivate the future of the Heights schools. This scholarship honors the achievements and spirit of Ms. Delisle, a first-generation college graduate herself, by extending her legacy in a way she would find most rewarding, helping a student have the same opportunities provided to her. So congratulations. Who's who? If I could have Taylor Jones come to the stage for the Chipoletti Scholarship. James Jim Chipoletti was an administrator in the Cleveland Heights University School System. Mr. Chipoletti earned his BA at John Carroll, just down the street, and his master's at Kent State University. After 11 years in the Cleveland Public Schools, Mr. Chipoletti was principal at Wiley Middle School for 20, and then administrative principal at Heights for 5. This scholarship is awarded to a graduating college-bound senior intending to become an educator. Mr. Chipoletti passed away this year. He was a good guy. And what was always impressive to me was he didn't live in Cleveland Heights. He didn't go to Heights High. But after he retired, he would come to events. He would go on field trips. He was on the Alumni Foundation. And he was really saddened when we closed this building. Well, I mean, it was where he would, to me, it's just where he worked, but to him, it was home. So we'll miss Chip. So congratulations. If I could have Michelle Posh, Aisha Brown, Sydney Cook, Jonathan Hicks, Easton Chase Figueroa, Erica Gandy, and Aviva Klein come to the stage for the Legend Scholarship. This scholarship basically is if your parent, your grandparents, your relatives went to Heights High, we try to give back. And ideally, we would be able to give a scholarship, an award to everybody, but we don't raise that much money. So what we do is we have one check. I have a check here from Michelle Posh, and then everybody else is getting a bundle of gift cards and gift certificates because we figure if you're going off to college, you're going to need food and clothes and furniture. So each student will be receiving $250 for gift certificates and things like that, as well as, show where, you want to go to the movies? Here's some money for the movies as well. So the idea being is that we want to give something back to legends, folks who have been at Heights High for multiple generations. So if I could have Michelle come up. And does everyone have a gift bag? All right. So next, if I could have, I got to move it out. If I could have DeMonte Meeks come to the stage for the Masengo Memorial Scholarship. This is awarded in memory of Ralph J. Masengo, who served in the U.S. government in a civilian and military capacity for nearly 40 years, and his son, former Heights High student Ralph J. Masengo, Jr., whose promising future ended too soon. Major James D. Masengo, U.S. Army retired, class of 1978, and Fred Team Masengo, class of 67, offer this stipend to a college-bound student who seeks U.S. government service in the field of diplomacy. This includes, but is not limited to, a concentration in international studies with the goal of furthering U.S. foreign policy and improving relations with other countries through peaceful diplomatic means. Now, I'm not going to try to follow the lead of DeMonte's earlier fans, so I'll just say congrats. I did have opportunity to hear him speak at a school board meeting, and so this is definitely well served. And J.D. Masengo is the foundation's treasurer, and he is the reason why we're able to, part of the reason why we're able to give out what we're able to do is because of his real strong financial management of the foundation. So congratulations, DeMonte. If I can have Kelly Moore come to the stage for the Walstein Scholarship. Bertram Walstein was a 1945 Heights High graduate and is a member of the Alumni Hall of Fame. Mr. Walstein is known for his success in the real estate industry and philanthropic work with his wife, Iris, who was also class of 47. This scholarship is awarded to a graduating college-bound senior intending to major in business, finance, or economics. Mr. Walstein, there's a little thing on the downtown called the East Bank of the Flats, and Mr. Walstein had the vision to begin acquiring property to develop it a number of years ago, and his wife and son have been able to carry that to fruition. So congratulations to Kelly. If I could have Allegra Steiger, Aviva Klein, and Joyce Glenn come to the stage. This is the Marion Katz Magga Memorial Scholarship. A passionate supporter of public education, Marion graduated from Heights in 1953. A strong proponent of integrated education, she represented the Oakland Public Schools in Contra Costa County Office of Education for 10 years each, and worked as a consultant to the Berkeley Unified School District after her retirement. She continued her community work through Rotary, Hadassah, and the Kennedy King Scholarship Program. Marion's also a member of the Alumni Hall of Fame, and this is a creative writing scholarship. So I have ladies come over. I got some checks for you. Okay, you are. Congratulations. All right, moving forward. I think I'm in the home stretch. Oh, I'm getting close. Okay, if I could have Anna Crowley and Allegra Steiger. I think Allegra can come back up. This is for the Alma Mater Scholarship. What the idea behind this scholarship was folks are very proud of their high school alma mater, they're very proud of their college alma mater. So what the idea here was we identified the top 30-some schools where Heights alumni have gone on, broken into 3 categories. We'd love to have one for every school, but again, budget. So we have one for the West Coast, one for the East Coast, and one for Ohio. I think reflective of trends these days. A lot of folks go to Ohio schools. We had nobody, unfortunately, going west, but we have 2 this evening. So if I have a round of applause for Allegra. Thank you. And Anna. Thank you. And if I could add.
Would Sydney Cook please come up? Sandra Toby Beck Wesler graduated from Cleveland Heights High School in June of 1965. She chose not to go to college and went to work as a secretary immediately after graduation. Sandy was diagnosed with leukemia in February of 1966. In May of that year, she and her high school sweetheart, Barry Weisler, were married. Sandy passed away in August of 1966. The scholarship is awarded to a graduating senior attending college with the goal of a career in medicine. This scholarship is very personal to Eric and his family because Sandy was his aunt.
Congratulations. If I could have Cherish Sanders come to the stage for the Goldsteen Scholarship. In honor of their 75th birthday, the June class of 1952 is a scholarship, established an annual scholarship fund in order to give back to their alma mater and help support current Heights High students. The scholarship is awarded to a graduating senior who intends to further their education by pursuing a course of study that will prepare them for a career in public service. So congratulations. And if I could have coming to the stage the members of the Mendes family, Taylor Jones, Aviva Klein, Lyndon Wiki, I think, hopefully. I'm working my way. I'm working. If I could have come to the stage, Taylor Jones, Aviva Klein, Lyndon Wiki, Joyce Glenn, Aisha Brown, John Miller, Amanda Murray, Amelia O'Donnell, Adam Rosenbaum, and Andrew Schellenberg. Please come to the stage for the Mendes Scholarship.
Good evening. My name is Harold Mendes. I graduated from Heights in 1945 on June the 7th. I remember very well. It was my birthday. Tonight, we have the honor of presenting scholarships in honor of my parents, Joseph and Molly Mendes, who never graduated from high school, but who had a good life and who are responsible for these scholarships. The criteria for the scholarship is that the student had to have gone to Wiley, where my wife was a counselor for many years, or to Coventry, a school where my son taught for many years, or to Garrity. All of the students had to submit an application giving us their ideas about where they expected to be in the future. Let's see where we're at.
Harold has a little problem.
No.
With his eyes. Be patient.
My wife, Barbara over here,
Big mouth.
who wasn't lucky enough to go to Heights, she went to Shaker, but we'll forgive her for that, is going to introduce us to 10 great students, each of which will receive a scholarship for $1,000 and who will join the 250 other students who've received our scholarships over the years.
I didn't mean to speak for my husband, excuse me. It feels really good to be back here at Wiley on this stage. I spent 16 very happy years here from 1978 to 1994 and was lucky enough to have Jim Chipoletti as our principal here. Our scholarships this year are dedicated in his memory. Our family is continuing to honor another group of Heights seniors, each of whom is special, each of whom, as you can see, is very unique. In meeting with them this last month, we were impressed with their maturity, their leadership skills, their work ethic, their exceptional sense of social responsibility, their intellectual curiosity and creativity, and most important to us, their kindness to others. These kids have truly been engaged at Heights High. They want to succeed. They go to class and they go on time. They listen. They ask questions. They give thoughtful and provocative answers. They work well together. And do they have plans? They're going to college, they're going to travel, they're going to grad school, and they have already accomplished so much at Heights High as academic achievers, leaders in school activities, community projects. They compete in class and in sports. They take advantage of college-level courses where they don't have to pay, and they work during the school year too. So in listening to their stories this year, one theme kept repeating itself because we happen to have on our stage tonight 7 students who attended Coventry Elementary School, where my son was lucky enough to be a teacher. They were so grateful for their Coventry experience. They said their teachers changed their lives. They said that reading, writing, adding, and subtracting, yes, those were critical skills to be learned, but in their words, an education is so much more. The lessons they learned about peacemaking, love, respect for others, practicing the Golden Rule, that's what mattered to these students. The environment created at Coventry by the dedicated staff there has had a lasting effect on these students, and they have some big ideas for putting these lessons to work. In the words of one of them who will attend the University of Cincinnati, he said, "Community is a big deal to me. I learned from an early age that helping others to find peaceful solutions to issues is important in our society today. I want to go to college. I want to get a great education. I want to be happy. I don't have to be famous or rich. I want to become a leader in helping people who need it. I want to make the world become a better place. I want to give back to my community. My community has given me everything. I love it here in Cleveland. I love it in Cleveland Heights. There's no place in the world quite like it." One of our boys said that. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce this year's scholars. Each of them will receive a check for $1,000. I hope it'll pay at least for some of the things they need. They need so much money this year to go to school. And please hold your applause until everyone is mentioned. I have a special helper with me tonight. Come up here, madam. This is the mother of one of our students who will be receiving a scholarship. She and I work together at Garrity Elementary School. She has a much more important job than I have. I'm just a volunteer there. But she's in charge of the cafeteria. And I can tell you from experience, there is no harder job in this world than having lunch with a lot of children every day. They love her. She is going to hand out the scholarships for me, and her son is going to be receiving one of them. Okay, so our first person is Miss Aviva Klein. She's going to the University of Michigan. Raise up your hand. There she is. She's going to study music performance, but this is even more important. She's going to explore the world geographically, these are her words, scientifically, artistically, and inwardly. These are her goals. She's going to be open-minded, engaged in learning. She wants to be healthy, to live widely. She wants to use everything she's learned so far to help her be better at whatever she decides to do in her life. Pretty good goals. Our second honoree is Miss Alicia Brown. There she is. Alicia? Okay. She's going to attend Kent State University, majoring in fashion merchandising, designing, retailing, with a continuing interest in dance, teaching, and performing. Our next student is Miss Amelia O'Donnell. There she is. She's going to Xavier. She wants to be a middle school teacher. That was music to my ears. She wants to work in a district like Cleveland Heights and University Heights, where she was inspired by her first and second grade teachers who stressed the Golden Rule, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And they demonstrated that all children can succeed. She wants to be that kind of a teacher. Our next recipient is Mr. Andrew Schellenberg. He's going to The Ohio State University. Going to major in mechanical engineering. And Andrew, also a Coventry student, is grateful that the early lessons of peace, love, and respect for others that he learned at Coventry will continue, these are his words, to be a driving force behind every goal he sets and every choice he makes. Our next recipient is Miss Lyndon White. She's going to Cornell to study the development of literatures and languages in the world in the hope of making peace more reachable through awareness and understanding of other cultures. Our next recipient is Taylor Jones. There she is. Look at her. Come up here. What a gorgeous girl she is. She wants to become a teacher also, with many future goals along with that. She wants to become a political lobbyist. She wants to stress educational reform. One day, she even hopes to open her own school for underprivileged girls, another Coventry girl. Mr. Adam Rosenberg, come up. He's going to the University of Cincinnati. He's interested in disaster relief management. He's our boy who loves Cleveland Heights. And next we have Amanda Murray, going to Kent State. Come up here. Look at her. She's interested in fashion. You can see that. Fashion design and also accounting so she can manage her own business. She's also the class president of Heights High. Okay. And now, I hate to say it, but this next person is my favorite. Come up here, Mr. John Miller. I'll tell you why. John is going to, he's the third, by the way. He's going to attend Hocking College. He's going to major in criminal justice. His dream, since he's been 10 years old, has been to help others and now to mentor young adults. But I can tell John that without his mother and my help, he wouldn't be up here tonight. We practically had to walk him to the counselor's office and get him to fill out an application. I think he's learned his lesson. He's going to pay more attention to his mother next time. Our last recipient is Joyce Glenn. Come up here, Joyce. You're going to Hampton College? Yes. Come up here. This is my favorite college because when I was at Wiley, I had a young man here in the 6th grade. His name was David Elliott Horton III. And he went to Hampton College. He also received a scholarship from us. And I want to tell you, he is now 36 years old. He has traveled all over the world. He's become an entrepreneur. He married a beautiful girl from one of the countries in Africa. Last month he was married, and we had a wonderful dinner at our house for himself, his wife, and his parents. So I hope you follow in his tradition because he's had a wonderful life, and it all started at Hampton. She also wants to teach. I have to tell about you. She wants to teach abroad. She's interested in business. And eventually, when she's made a lot of money, she wants to become a philanthropist in her own right and fund other people's dreams. And that's a wonderful thing to do, I can tell you. Go ahead. So, congratulations to all of these wonderful students. It's such a pleasure for us as a family to come here and share what we have with the children we love most in this world. Now you can all clap.
We have one more Alumni Foundation Scholarship, which is not in your program. If I could have Jonathan Hicks come to the stage for the David Chisik Student Athlete Scholarship. David Chisik was a member of the class of 1929. Born in Kiev, Russia, he and his family emigrated to the U.S. when he was an infant. While a student at Patrick Henry Junior High in Cleveland, he pitched on his baseball team as went to a city championship, as well as played on their basketball team, which also won a city championship. David also competed on their track and soccer teams. At Heights, Chisik excelled on the football team, in addition to playing basketball and indoor baseball. He was a key part of the Heights team that went on to win the Greater Cleveland Championship. After graduation, he was on the football team at The Ohio State University. A true student athlete, David was on the honor roll at Heights many times, and while at Ohio State, he had the second best grades on the entire football team. Sometime following the Ohio State-Michigan game, a boil on his arm became infected, septicemia set in, and his weight dropped from 160 to 100 pounds. 9 months later, he passed away from tubercular meningitis. The motivation for this scholarship was in the renovation project, the historic preservation team was going around identifying things to preserve. And one of them was there was this rock by the ticket booth at the football stadium, had this plaque for David Chisik, and honoring his athleticism, what have you. And when we did some research, because we were like, who's David Chisik? It was just amazing that here was this student who was not only in competed in multiple sports, but he was also a phenomenal student athlete. So we wanted to create a scholarship to honor David's memory by identifying students who were doing the same thing, like Jonathan here. And our goal, hopefully, would be to eventually have fall, winter, and spring, and then men's and women's as well. But this year we have the one check. We're happy to give it to Mr. Hicks here, who I heard him speak at the Cleveland Heights High Hall of Fame. And I said to his father, because I sort of knew who his father was, but I was like, from listening to the way he spoke, I was like, I know who your father is. Jimmy Hicks is in the audience, who's also an alum, as well as I think your mother went to Heights too. Yes. So we're happy to give this first scholarship to Jonathan. You're going to CWRU. Mm-hmm. So congratulations. Here you go. So hopefully I did not take my entire 45 minutes of allocated time. As I say every year, hopefully we'll be back with more scholarships and larger awards. If you have a junior or sophomore, especially if you have a junior for the class of 2017, we would encourage you to encourage them to apply. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Good evening. My name is Kim Lash, and I would like Datara White to please come up and join me on stage. The Helen Fox Award is in honor of Helen Fox, who was the founder of the Pride program at Cleveland Heights High School in the 80s. She had insight, love, and courage to work with young people struggling with alcohol and drug issues, other types of family issues, anything that might keep you in the way from being successful. She always stressed that it can be difficult to make the right choice when you're going through difficult times. Helen Fox was the original coordinator of Pride. Pride stands for Prevention, Referral, Intervention, and Drug Education. She was a pioneer in teaching the importance of helping others and helping young people make good, healthy choices. I am honored to give this award to Datara White. Here you go. Datara, let's have a round of applause for her. She is a young woman who has an incredibly positive attitude, and no matter what has gone on in her life during the last 4 years of Cleveland Heights High School, she has persevered. She has overcome obstacles with her heart and courage, and is successfully graduating from Cleveland Heights High School with the desire and going into the United States Air Force when she graduates. So I'm very, very proud of her. She is a young woman who we can look up to, and she has strength and courage, and she perseveres no matter what.
Will Graham Ball, Orion Brock, Brianna Hohenfeld, and Flannery Jewell please join me on the stage? My name is Carrie Queen, and I am a member of the George Strickland Memorial Endowment Committee. The foundation has one sole purpose: to honor graduating seniors who have contributed to the vocal arts department at Cleveland Heights High School scholarships to continue their education. Included in the criterion for this scholarship are the students must have been a member of a cappella choir for at least 4 consecutive semesters. We take into account what they have contributed to the department, and we also give just a little kick to those who plan to do something with music when they get to high school. This year's recipients are Graham Ball, oh, Orion's not here, Brianna Hohenfeld, Flannery Jewell. Music is a very important part of the Cleveland Heights University Heights area, and we are honored to be able to give these students an opportunity to continue their education and also hopefully to continue in music. I just want to say to you, congratulations. We know that you will all do well, and remember that a day without music is a wasted day. Congratulations.
Would Ariana Mary also join us on stage? The Vocal Arts Parents Organization, oh, there you are, is the, we'll call it VAPO, correct? Yes, and it's run by parents. The scholarship itself consists of the singers. Essay scholarship is for a member of the choir or singers. The essay is based on how singers or choir has influenced the life of a student and aiding them in personal growth. And these students here are magnificent in their arts and all of their talents, as well as in their academics. Graham will attend Kenyon College with a major in physics. I know you're going to Mars, okay? Flannery will attend Ohio University with a major in journalism, news, and information, looking into people's lives and telling on them. Ariana Murray will attend Emory University with a major in neuroscience and behavioral biology. Want my brain? It'll be okay, okay? All right, students, congratulations to all of you. And I know that y'all already got congratulations. Would DeMonte Meeks join me, please? I've been so many different people tonight. Oh my goodness. Tamara Anderson is a Sergeant First Class serving right now as an acting Sergeant Major in the United States Army. She is a 1998 graduate of Cleveland Heights High School. She has been deployed 4 times. While she's been in the military, she has earned her MBA. She continuously gives back by participating in numerous organizations, which has actually gotten her invited to the White House on many different occasions. She believes that a patriot is one who loves and defends his or her country. This is a $1,000 scholarship, which is offered to a Heights High graduating senior who is enlisting in the United States military. This scholarship is being awarded to DeMonte Meeks. Congrats, hon. DeMonte has been accepted to the United States Air Force Academy. He has a 3.56 GPA, and at this time, I will quote DeMonte. This decision of mine is just as connected to my future as it is to my past. I want to bring honor to my school, to my community. I want to teach kids that have grown up with absent fathers, strong mothers, and a troubling social status that the world has not forgotten nor forsaken them. The decision to join the military is so much bigger than me. I am just a footprint in a forged path. Hopefully, someone will use me as a foothold on the journey we will all embark on. DeMonte, congratulations.
Good evening. Could we have Marcy Rosenberg join us, please? My name is Tina Reynolds. I'm a 5th Vice President of the Cleveland Heights Teachers Union. I'm here along with President Ari Klein. We are both Cleveland Heights teachers and graduates of Heights High. We will not tell you what year. At least I won't. I don't know about him. Hi, congratulations. This award was established by the Cleveland Heights Teachers Union Local 795 to honor a senior who's going to college to pursue a career in education. It's named the Glenn Allschild Scholarship after a former Cleveland Heights University Heights teacher who served loyally as the Cleveland Heights Teachers Union president for over 20 years. This year's recipient is Marcy Rosenberg. After graduating from high school, Marcy plans to attend Kent State University to study special ed, disability studies, in the hopes of becoming a special ed teacher. Marcy faced challenges during her first 2 years of high school, and through the support of her family, staff, and self-determination, she has persevered and achieved her goal to attend the college of her choice. Congratulations, Marcy, on a job well done. Should we go the wrong way?
Should we go the wrong way? I don't know. Good evening. If I could have Joyce Glenn, Kaduri Lockhart, Marcy Rosenberg, and Darielle Silver come to the stage. This scholarship is given by the Educational Administrative and Professional Staff Council to graduating students who major in the field of education and have demonstrated educational leadership. Our students that are coming to the stage represent much of what Heights High has to offer academically and socially. They have accepted the challenge of taking honors and AP classes. They have been involved in numerous school and community activities, as well as being gainfully employed. Joyce Glenn. Joyce says that her career plans are to become an African American history professor, and it can be accomplished in two ways. Plan A entails earning her undergraduate, graduate degrees, and PhD without a break. Plan B, she may take the scenic route, and she will complete her undergraduate studies and join Teach for America. Joyce plans to attend Hampton University in the fall and major in African American history and sociology. Kaduri Lockhart. Kaduri plans to pursue a career in teaching history or science to become a football coach. One of the main reasons for this decision is because of the impact that his football coach has had on him. He wants to have a positive influence on young adults as they advance through their lives. Marcy Rosenberg is striving to be a special education teacher. She has worked in the special education classroom here at Heights High during her lunch break. She writes that special education is near and dear to her heart, and that is definitely her career choice. She will attend Kent State University in the fall and major in special education.
Darielle Silver has earned a warm place in the hearts of students and teachers in Ms. Liz McDonald's class. In the mild to moderate, severe, intensive needs classroom, she is very effective with the students. One student in particular was very difficult socially. However, with patience and determination, Darielle played a huge part in helping to achieve significant improvement in the students' reading skills. Darielle and several other teachers have noticed that she works well with students and has the patience to be a professional and great special education teacher. She looks to start her studies at Cuyahoga Community College. Each of our students here will receive a $500 scholarship. Let's give our guys a hand. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Reverend Jimmy Hicks Jr. Would Jonathan Hicks, Olivia Brown, and Bryson Hunt please come to the stage? You can clap. They've been waiting here. I'm representing the Brothers and Sisters Scholarship for Academic Excellence. It's interesting that all of the reasons that the memorial scholarships that are happening, but we represent a group of people who were Cleveland Heights students. And we gave our first award here at this ceremony in 1985 while we were still college students. And we recognized that the education that we received from Heights put us so far ahead of our peers when we went to school that we wanted to come back and encourage people here, the students here at the school. And so we've been doing this for the last, I believe, 30 years. And we have just gotten together to give out these awards. When the Brothers and Sisters started Cleveland Heights in the 70s, Cleveland Heights was a different school system, and a group of young people banded together to make sure they could have the best academic experience that they could have here at Cleveland Heights.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Danita Johnson, and I am a 1988 graduate of Cleveland Heights High School. I also graduated from Wiley. It looks a little different than it did in 1985 today, but I'm glad to be here. On behalf of the Brothers and Sisters, we are awarding each of these three outstanding individuals with a $1,000 scholarship. First, we have Bryson Hunt, who, yes, go ahead and applaud. Bryson played football, he was on the drama club, he was a member of the Minority State Achievement Network, and he has a GPA of 3.1, and he will be taking his talents to Baldwin Wallace University. We also have Olivia Brown. She was women's barbershop, gospel choir, singer, and National Honor Society. She has a GPA of 3.75, and she will be attending the Kent State University. We have Jonathan Hicks. Jonathan was on the track team. He was also MSAN, and he also at the Start Right AVA team and Start Right Food Pantry. He has a GPA of 4.02, and he will be attending Case Western Reserve University. So on behalf of the Brothers and Sisters, please help me with giving them a round of applause.
Coming to the podium is one of the original members of the Brothers and Sisters organization in 1977, and he's giving his own scholarship, Mr. Michael McGruder, 10-year NFL football player.
Good evening. I need
two gentlemen to come up to the stage with me. Jonathan Hicks can come back up. DeMonte Meeks can come back up. My name is, like Pastor Jimmy Hicks said, my name is Mike McGruder. I went to Wiley, went to Cleveland Heights, graduated Cleveland Heights, went to Kent State University, had a chance to play 2 sports there at Cleveland Heights, and also captain of 2 sports at Kent State, football and track. And I had a chance to play professional football for 12 years. I ended up playing in the Super Bowl with the New England Patriots, and fortunate enough to give back with my foundation. I'm here today to say that Cleveland Heights changed my life. I live in Dallas, Texas now because I like warm weather. And I understand that the weather is still the same here in Cleveland because my mom still lives here in University Heights. But I want to say thank you to Principal Ross, who is doing an amazing job here and becoming a good friend of mine. And when he calls, I fly in. I want to say that my foundation is focused on giving back to youth that believe that they have a purpose in life, that they believe that sports is just an opportunity to continue their life, but to be a student is even more important, and to be part of a charity is even more important. My scholarship is going to give to these 2 gentlemen today their scholarships here. Jonathan. I've had the opportunity to do my sports camp here at Cleveland Heights for a few years, and this gentleman here has been amazing. I've seen him on the field and off the field. I am one of the original founders of the Brothers organization back in Cleveland Heights, and being a close friend of Pastor Jimmy Hicks, this gentleman here is also amazing. So we have 2 amazing men that are going to do more than what I did at Cleveland Heights. First of all, because their GPA was better than mine. Thank you.
Will Sydney Cook please come to the stage? This is for the M.E. Moss Family Fund. This scholarship was established in 2005 to give a talented student the assistance to continue their education. The student has shown consistent effort to achieve scholastically throughout high school and has participated in 1 or more school or community activities. This year's recipient is Sydney Cook. Sydney manages her time well. She has a strong work ethic. She is involved in many school and community extracurricular activities. She understands that giving of oneself is extremely important in life. It helps you to develop strong character traits, such as leadership skills. Sydney has worked with Habitat for Humanity, MedWish International, served as captain of the Heights High field hockey team. She has led in student government as well as Look Up to Cleveland, all while maintaining a 3.58 grade point average. Sydney will attend Kent State University, pursuing the medical field. Congratulations.
Good evening. This is the Everything Tiger Shop Scholarship. Throughout the school year, Ms. Fishman, the students, and myself create, sold, and packaged Everything Tiger spirit wear. Oh, there we go. Thank you. And the profits of that spiritware are the proceeds have gone to create the Everything Tiger Scholarship. I'm not sure any of these students are here tonight. Many of them were on a field trip to Ohio University today. But if they are here, Sean Brassfield, Regine Bohannon, Francis Hotzel, Aaron Johnson, or Isaiah Mulligan. Don't think any of them are here. These scholarships are awarded to students who have succeeded in overcoming obstacles, shown exemplary work skills, and have been able to set and attain their goals. I'd like to recognize these students, and each of them will receive a scholarship to assist them in their post-secondary career goals. Oh, there you are, Miss. There you are.
Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather today, but I'm giving out the AFS Foreign Exchange Award. My name is Carla Bailey. The AFS program has been here at Heights High for well over 50 years, and this is this year we have 8 students from all over the world. They live with host families for a year, and actually they're going home next week and the week after, most of them. They have receiving the Appreciation Award, and they have some of the highest GPAs in the school this year. They've been involved in sports and clubs. They study hard, and they're overall great students. This year's recipients of the AFS Foreign Exchange Award go to my host daughter, Nana Mbaka Ali Benissa, Mohammed Gemel Eldin, Francisco Rossi, he's at a baseball game, a few of them are at the baseball game. Habiba, Senegal, Vanessa Msagwa of Tanzania, Matilda Sheffenbein, Germany, Weena Shaipangpo of Thailand. Actually, my daughter, when she was in 11th grade, went to Weena School in Thailand for a year, and Weena came to Heights High for a year. How cool is that? And Diego Piera of Uruguay, who's at the softball game. So these are our AFS Foreign Exchange students. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Couture Simmons, the Cleveland Heights University Heights PTA Council President, and here to present 5 seniors with the Barbara W. Hagee PTA Scholarship. Will the following students and their PTA parent join me on the stage? Maggie Claspy, Daria Germany, Bryson Hunt, Aviva Klein, and William Moreland. Barbara W. Hagee was the president of the Cleveland Heights University Heights Council of PTAs from 1973 to 74. Years after her children graduated and left the school system, Barbara continued to serve council as the committee chair for the scholarship committee. Barbara passed away December 2002. Her cheerful, optimistic, youthful outlook will be missed by many for who were fortunate to have known and worked with her. For her years of service, council exec voted to name the scholarship fund in her honor. These scholarships are awarded to acknowledge parents of Heights High graduates who were longtime dedicated child advocates and whose tireless efforts contributed greatly to the benefit of students, parents, and schools within this district. Each PTA unit contributes to the PTA Scholarship Fund, which in turn supplies scholarships to graduating Cleveland Heights High seniors, distributed by middle school area. This is my fourth and final year of presenting this scholarship, and this one is really dear to me as I personally know the efforts of these children's parents, and I also know the sacrifices of the students. Along with being strong in academics, athletics, the arts, these students have shared their parents for the good of all students at CHUH. You all should be proud and thankful for each other. Congratulations. Paper go.
Would Mary Carter come forward, please? The Medical Mutual of Ohio Scholarship is awarded to a Heights High senior who plans to pursue a career in the medical field. The recipient is chosen based on a combination of economic need and academic achievement. I'm happy to announce this year's recipient is Mary Carter. Mary is a serious, conscientious student with a tremendous work ethic. She's also very patient and kind. She takes initiative to help her classmates when they struggle and want to give up. Mary is never one to give up. She asks questions, seeks out new experiences, sets challenging goals for herself, and works hard to achieve them. She has held a long-term position as a lifeguard and also completed a paid summer internship through the Future Connections program in Cleveland. I'm especially proud of how Mary volunteered to speak in public on behalf of her class as a means of getting over her shyness. In doing so, she has done a fantastic job in representing herself in the Clinical Health Careers program. Mary has already earned college credits, completed nurse aid training, received her CPR certification as a healthcare provider, and plans to begin working in healthcare while pursuing a degree at Wright State University. Congratulations, Mary.
Betty Levy was an English teacher in this district for over 2 decades. She had faith in all her students and challenged them to reach their potential. For many, many years, Betty was an avid boys basketball fan. Betty, with an Ohio State bleacher seat, a black purse, and wearing a Heights High t-shirt, sat right behind the team for every game. She kept stats on each player, freely shared her game plan commentary with coaches and fans alike, and always encouraged the players even when everyone else had given up hope. Unfortunately, Betty passed away before she was able to see her beloved boys win the Ohio State basketball championship. But you can be sure she was there in spirit up until the last shot. This scholarship, in one small way, pays tribute to that contribution. It is given to a senior who has been a member of the basketball team for 3 years with a minimum of a 2.0 GPA. This year's recipient is Malik Smith. Malik's counselor writes that Malik is an articulate, intelligent, and amicable young man. He is an excellent student, athlete, and a great asset to our community. Malik is a strong academic student. He has earned a place in the top 25% of his very competitive class. He has earned Merit World status for the past 2 years, consecutive 2 years. His teachers absolutely love him. He is a class leader and a great role model for his peers. Malik has contributed tremendously to our basketball program. As captain of the varsity team, he has led the team in scoring as well as in citizenship and morale. Guess what? Malik loves to fly. He's a junior pilot. Isn't that great? Malik received an academic, athletic, full ride scholarship from the University of North Carolina at Asheville, where he will major in business management. Congratulations, Malik.
Thank you.
I get a hug.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you are so welcome. Here you go, babe.
Will Amanda Murray join me on the stage? Polly Blumenthal, a gifted and inspired teacher of English students in the 10th grade at Cleveland Heights High School from 1962 until her untimely death, April 28, 1967. She led her students to think, speak, and write clearly, to seek underlining meanings in all that they read, and to arrive at their own solutions to problems. I am honored to present this award in her name to a very wonderful young lady, Amanda Murray. Amanda's U.S. history teacher writes that she was one of the best writers in his class. Her essays were always clear and crisp, with a marked prosody, choice, interesting, and imaginative terms and phrases. I still use one of her essays as an example to help demonstrate how to effectively capture an imagination of the reader and how to structure the essay. Aside from her academic and extracurricular achievements, personally, Amanda is very well liked by adults and peers. She also possesses the patience, sensitivity, and willingness to listen to constructive criticism. Congratulations, Amanda. Amanda. You got the right check, the wrong certificate. So you were supposed to get all of this. Yeah. Now will Flannery Jewell please join me on the stage? Molly Mandrin Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship was established in memory of Molly Mandrin, who was a member of the Cleveland Heights High School choir from 1969 to 1971. The recipient must be a member of the choir or Heights singer and have qualities of warmth, love, compassion, and deep sensitivity. This year's recipient is Flannery Jewell. The choir director writes that Flannery is the best example of efforts, talent, and leadership. She is a self-motivated, positive, and leads by example. Congratulations.
Can Easton Figueroa please come up to the stage? This is for the Joseph Stool Memorial Scholarship. I will be reading from a recommendation made by Dr. Davis. Easton has been a student of mine in the Business Management Technology program for 1 year. Easton is a mature, goal-oriented, and well-spoken young man. Easton has proven to be a hard-working and self-motivated student. He is an enthusiastic business scholar, always expecting the best of himself. He is an articulate individual with an inquiring mind. His dedication and desire to succeed will take him to the highest level in any career that he pursues. Easton has a consistent positive attitude about school and life. He is not afraid of tackling life's difficult challenges. I am confident that he will be successful in all of his future endeavors, and I highly recommend his selection for participation in this great opportunity. He has my respect, and I hope you will give him your full consideration. Congratulations. Can Aaron Bernard and Gabriel P. Wu please come to the stage? The Women's Civic Club of Cleveland Heights was organized in 1912. Purpose was to promote an interest in the civic and educational development of the Cleveland Heights and to manifest a general concern in social and civic affairs. Scholarships have been given to a young man and a young lady every year since the organization was formed. This year's recipients are Aaron Bernard and Gabriel P. Wu. Aaron Bernard is personable, articulate, and possesses an excellent sense of humor. According to her forensic science teacher, Erin is a natural leader and is often sought out in class by her classmates for assistance or advice because of her winning personality and ability to relate to others. Erin plans to attend Capital University and major in computer science engineering. Gabriel P. Wu's English teacher wrote in her recommendation that Gabriel is a highly intelligent young man who is capable of achieving at an advanced level. She was impressed by his willingness to ask for help when he felt confused on an assignment. His persistence in bettering himself as a student and as a writer will carry over in college. Gabriel plans to attend Cleveland State University and major in business management. We wish Aaron and Gabriel much success in their future endeavors. Congratulations. Here. Sorry.
At this time, if we could have all of the recipients, all the student recipients come to the stage, any of those students who are still here, if you can come to the stage here. In or any student who has been offered a college scholarship, come to the stage. So as we close tonight's event, I would just like to report that our seniors who have reported their awards have been offered $6,815,523 from colleges and universities. This amount includes one-year awards and four-year renewable awards. Additionally, many of our students were offered athletic scholarships in varying amounts that have not been included in this total. From tonight's program, our seniors received $76,710 from the community. Therefore, as of today, our students have been offered a total of $6,892,233 overall. Let's let these students hear from you. It's a lot of money, over $6 million. So, it's been a long night. We appreciate everybody who has come out to help us celebrate these students' accomplishments. And if I haven't shared with you, I love these students. I really love these students. These are really good students. They deserve it. Parents, also, I appreciate everything that you do with your students. If it wasn't for you, your student wouldn't be up here, and our parents need to be recognized as well. So on that note, I would like to say good night and be safe traveling home.